Hello YouTube, this is KoalKingX Anime Review. Today I'll be reviewing Inazuma 11. Now from what I hear, Inazuma 11 was originally a video game that later on got made into a manga and then anime. The game was created by Level 5 and I think the manga was illustrated and written by, let me see here, Tenya Yabuno. Hope I got that right. Since I neither played the game or read the manga, I'm gonna focus more on the anime since this is an anime review. Okay, let's begin with plot. The plot is about this young kid named Endo Mamoru who's like this basically soccer fanatic. Like loves soccer, everything about it. He's trying to continue the legend at his school about the legendary Inazuma 11, this great soccer team that was said to be unbeatable. But the problem is, the current soccer team is only him and 6 other players who aren't really all that motivated. But that changes when a new kid moves into town named Goenji Shoya, also known as Axel Blaze for you dub lovers out there. So basically, he sees this Goenji guy who really seems like he's great at soccer, wants to recruit him onto the team, but he doesn't want to join. And then there's this practice match at the school against Teikaku, apparently the strongest soccer team in Japan, they're in junior middle school, so I don't think they're the strongest team in Japan. But that's the Teikaku school challenges them to a match, and they are basically getting destroyed and pummeled out there. And that's when Goenji steps in and basically saves the day in this soccer match. Now, from that basic description, you probably don't think much of this show, but that's because I haven't really gotten to what it really is and what it's all about. You'll understand why I really like this show so much after you see this. If you're like me, you'll be spitting out your cup of orange soda right now because that surprised the holy mother of everything out of me because I did not see it coming. I was just watching the show out of pure boredom. It was at nighttime. Honestly, I didn't really expect anything like that to happen, so that was just like a bonus. I just thought I found a sports anime to watch something quick, and so I could kill the boredom for like 2 or 3 hours. After seeing that, I just fell in love with the show, and it's mainly the music more than anything. I mean, I know the super-powered soccer thing is great and hasn't really been done before, but I don't think it'll work quite as well without the music, and that's really what I love about this show. And actually, not just that, from there on, the show really does surprise me a little bit because the plot is actually really good. I mean, some of the characters are lovable, some are a little annoying, but that comes with every anime. But let's see, what can I really say? I mean, the first season was good. It really got me into it. I watched it. But I really can't talk too much on the first season because I really felt like the show really hit its peak during the second season and then went on to the third season where it just like completely exploded with greatness. That's really how I feel about this show. Let me see, now I already talked about plot, so showed you why the show is great. Let me get into characters now. Now, most of my favorite characters weren't really introduced until season 2, but that's really I really don't want to get into it on the fear of that it might spoil the story for you. No, no, never mind. That's not much of a spoiler. Just telling you the characters. That won't really ruin the show for you. I mean, season 1 is great, but I feel like it's not really something that if I wasn't bored, I would have just watched and loved it as much as I did. But if you really want to watch the show on a great start, you could start from season 2. I mean, there is like a full-on recap episode before it even starts. So anyways, on to the characters. Now if I had to do like a quick top 3 characters list, it would be, let's see. It's kind of really tough. I mean, alright, I could do this. It would be Hiroto, Fubiki, what? Fubiki Shiro? God, that is a lot harder to say out loud than it is in my head. Let's see, Hiroto, Fubuki, and then Endo. But my all-time favorite is really Rococo, but he's from all the way from season 3, and I really don't want to get into that. I know for sure that it's probably going to ruin it for some people. Anyways, back to the character review. Now let's start with Endo Mamoru, our main character of the show, who's, I think, well, I don't really want to say this because it sounds negative, but I'm really not trying not to be, but he's your basic main character, hothead, never give up, keep trying, dreams for the future, gonna be #1 soccer player in the world. And I'm not sure about this. I think I didn't really look it up or anything, but I think the voice actor for him in the Japanese is the same as the voice actor for Naruto, so, well, guess you could call him a soccer playing Naruto. And he also wears orange too. That's a lot of comparisons I can make on that, but not gonna get into it. Okay, next is Goenji Shuya, the second main character in the show. Whatever you want to call that. But yeah, basically he is like one of the main characters of the show. He holds up a lot of the parts. Basically, he performs most of the shoots in the show, which I notice he has the most shots in the show. That's kind of annoying a little, cause I'm not gonna call it annoying. I just think he's a glory hog. That's all. I don't see what's so great about Goenji the Flame Striker. More of a Fubiki fan. He needs to change his name. Anyways, next is Kido Yuta, doesn't matter. I'm really getting tired of these names. Anyways, he's basically the third main character of the show. Guess that's how it works. If I really can't find another way to say it, because I can't call him a minor character. At the same time, he's not really the main character, but he really adds a lot onto the show. I mean, he starts off as a is this a spoiler alert? I mean, if he spends most of the show as the good guy, then it's not really much of a spoiler. He starts off like the first 9 episodes of this first season as the antagonist and moves on to protagonist, joins Endo and the soccer crew, and basically he becomes a really vital part to the show, probably the smartest person they have on the team, since he's actually able to think things through on like just saying, let's just never give up and keep trying. Which is actually a nice change of pace. He actually says some smart things instead of just keep playing and just do that never give up spirit, which he does too, but it's nice to know there's some sensible stuff in it. I mean, I'm looking for logic in a soccer show with superpowers. Wow. Of course, there's plenty other characters I like to talk about, but if I really wanted to get into it, this video would be really, really, really long, and I really don't want to hold up your time like that. So let's move on to the other things I love about the show. Like I said earlier in the video, like the music is phenomenal. It is great. I love it. I mean, it gets me pumped. Like just seeing the movie. Like this is the thing that really got me. Like when I watched this show, like I was watching it with headphones on because, well, it makes me feel more into the show. And so basically I was watching the show with headphones on. My brother comes into the room, just sees some penguins flying. You will understand that when you watch the show. And he just sees these penguins flying and says, "What the heck are you watching? It looks really stupid." And I was like, I took off the headphones for a second and like I couldn't really hear the show anymore. And without the music, it really did look ridiculous. I mean, the music really adds on to it. And did I mention the openers? Oh my god, these openers are great. I mean, if you know my channel, you know I make multi-anime openers, and I really haven't done that lately. One of the main reasons being this, actually. I tried to make a multi-anime opening using one of the Inazuma 11 openings, and I failed miserably, and it really got to me. I mean, demotivated me completely, which is why I haven't done a multi-anime opening in a while. Geez, it was a failure of an attempt, and probably won't do another multi-anime opening for a while longer too after this. So I decided to get into a little bit of anime reviewing, talk about what I like, and this is one of my new favorite animes. I mean, I only discovered it, I think, 3 months ago, and I just watched it really quickly. I mean, like I said earlier, I started out with the dub, then moved on to the sub version. I mean, the first time I watched the dub, didn't really think it was that bad. Watched the sub, and then went back to try to see the dub again, and my ears were bleeding. Painful. Very painful. And the dub names were really stupid. I mean, I didn't really have a problem with Mark Evans. Axel Blaze didn't really get to me. But then Byron, what? And it got dumber after that. And honestly, there's a lot more I'd really like to say about the show. I could actually go on for, I think I could go on for a really long time talking about this show, but that's not what the purpose of this video was. I was really trying to make an anime review, and I noticed that I really went on ranting a lot in some of these parts. Maybe I'll make another video about my Inazuma 11 rant. If you want to see that, tell me. But let me just end the review by telling you basically my overall thought. The show, so basically plot, okay, it's not really the best plot ever. Not deep, not something that I would say, oh my goodness, this is great on the level of Naruto and Bleach. Well, kind of is. Just any excuse to play soccer, any excuse to fight. And let's see, characters, most out of them are great. And let's see, music, phenomenal, the best I've seen. Oh yeah, I didn't really get into the animation, but you could judge for yourself. I've been showing you clips of the show, and it looks, to me, it looks okay. There's no problem. I really don't know how to, I'm not much of a critic when it comes to animation. Let's, what else can I say? Well, I guess I'll just give it an overall rating. I would say, well, basically because I'm really biased on this, so I'll say a 9 out of 10, because that's really how much I love it. And that's it for my Inazuma 11 anime review. There was really a lot of other stuff I really like to get into, but I couldn't because fear of spoiling it. And I think from now on when I do anime reviews, I'm just gonna ignore the spoiler warning. Should tell you now any of my future reviews may contain spoilers, so I could do it properly when I feel free. Basically, let me see. If you haven't watched it, I strongly recommend you do. If you do watch it, good for you, because it is a great show. I couldn't really, when I did talk about story earlier, I kind of overskipped something. I mean, Fubiki's story is kind of deep, and yeah, you could get into that. So is some of the main, so some of the other plots in the story. They are kind of deep, kind of meaningful. May even bring a little tear to your eye. Not saying it brought one to my eye, but may bring one to your eye. Anyways, that's it. Just tell me what you think about the video, comment, rate, and give me any suggestions for any future anime to review. Oh man, almost forgot. I think I have to say this. Inazuma 11 is property of TV Tokyo and Level 5. I'm just saying that so I wouldn't get in trouble. I don't claim any of this material as my own.